welcome to ABC Interactive English, everyone. Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Rainbow.
And we are back, Rainbow, with Owen and Maya, our two food-eating friends from Sugar, Spice, and Everything Nice. You'll remember yesterday, Maya was preparing Owen for a, formal dinner.
Yeah, a
with
little
her
bit
parents.
formal.
Yeah.
There are some rules to follow.
Basic rules for Maya and her family. I would say these are basic rules for anyone.
Yeah,
not
definitely.
just, pushing food in their mouth at a fast food restaurant. If you're having a nice dinner, some of the basic rules would be?
I remember one of them was don't reach across somebody to get the salt and pepper.
Yes.
You want to ask for it.
Exactly. Would you please pass me the ketchup? Or please pass me the soy sauce or salt or pepper or other things that might be there on the table. They also had the rule that you shouldn't ask for any special salad dressings.
Because they only served it with olive oil and vinegar. Basics.
I get the idea that Maya's parents are quite healthy.
I think so.
Because that is
There's
a
no
healthy,
Caesar salad dressing.
That's a healthy salad dressing. It's true, a lot of the salad dressings you might get in a restaurant or buy at a store in a bottle. A lot of sugar and fat in those, but oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, maybe a few dry herbs.
Okay.
Very healthy, very easy
very
to
natural.
make. Very natural. Now, what is your favorite salad dressing?
I like exactly that. Something very natural. Just a few pieces of herb here and there, a dribble of a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit of salt.
Do you ever put vinegar, or sometimes also people use lemon juice? They find the balance between the oil and the sort of sour of the lemon or vinegar that makes a nice mix.
Not a huge fan of the sour.
Okay.
Because it's just like got a lot of it kind of stings a bit.
Oh yeah,
so
you can put too much.
Yeah,
That's true. Usually I think it's about 3 spoons of oil for maybe 1 spoon of the vinegar or the lemon.
Okay.
That might be a good mix, but you're right. Some people think it's too sour. But anyways, that was a pretty good lesson for Owen. He learned some basic things about how to eat in a formal situation. Now we're back with Owen and Maya today. That's the good news. The other interesting news is we're in a different situation.
There's a new dish.
Hopefully things went well at the formal dinner, but we're going to be joining with Owen and Maya in our new dialogue, Part B, starting now. Maya prepared a new dish for Owen.
Here, try this dish and tell me what seasonings you taste.
Okay, right away, I can smell fish sauce.
That's right. Now take a bite.
Okay, so we are back with Maya and Owen, these two friends who enjoyed a formal dinner. Well, kind of enjoyed a formal dinner with Maya's parents yesterday in our dialogue. We're not sure if Owen enjoyed it. He was nervous. He was learning the basic rules so he didn't embarrass himself at the dinner with Maya's parents. But today sounds a little more relaxed. It says Maya prepared a new dish for Owen. All right, so Maya seems to be a cook of some, it's her hobby, some, passion here for cooking with Maya, which is great. Maybe it is actually kind of something Owen will be nervous about. If your friend or partner makes you a new dish, you do feel some pressure to like the dish, right? If they spend all that time in the kitchen, they say, here, try it. And you go, oh my God, that's terrible. That could be more trouble for Owen.
That would be very sad.
But I'm sure Maya is a wonderful chef. So let's get into the dialogue and see what dish she has prepared.
Maya says, here, try this dish and tell me what seasonings you taste.
Wow, so it's a bit of a test for Owen. Maya has made something new. There it is, all ready to eat. But she doesn't want Owen to just jump in there and start eating away.
She wants him to guess.
That's right. She wants him to sort of answer her questions and tell her information about her new dish. So Owen does it in a very professional, almost a very scientific way. Like this is a lab experiment, or, they're doing food research. He says, okay. And then he doesn't actually bite the food or put it in his mouth. He probably gets a spoon or something and puts it under his nose, which is a great way of really enjoying the food, because you will get a lot of information just by smelling the food without even putting it in your mouth. He says, right away, I can smell fish sauce.
That's a very strong smell, so it's easy to recognize.
It's pretty easy to smell or taste fish sauce, because as you say, it is very strong with its smell. Now, when we say seasoning, seasoning could be herbs and spices, things that we add to our food to make the flavor different or better. And in fact, we use this also as a verb. Generally, when we say seasoning in kind of cookbooks or cooking shows, what they often mean is salt and pepper. When someone says it needs more seasoning, that's kind of just another way of saying it needs more salt and or pepper. But yes, really, it could be more herbs, more spices. It's basically saying it tastes a little boring. Add something to make it better. Or what you add, salt, pepper, herbs, spices, to the food, that can also be called seasoning.
And what is happening right now is that we are able to smell what the seasoning is, or what kind of sauce there is.
You can definitely smell the fish sauce.
Yeah. This is an action that you do with your nose. So you can only smell with your nose. For your mouth, it's taste. For your nose, it's smell. So when you smell something, that means you pick up the scent, the air, you can smell it. It's in the air and you know what it is. This reminds me of when we had the pandemic. A lot of people lost their sense of smell. They couldn't smell the food. They couldn't smell what they were drinking. And that is terrible. You would really feel like you're suffering, because it affects your way of enjoying the food when you can't smell it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Often, if you can't smell it, it's hard to taste it, too.
Exactly. It's connected.
They work together well.
Okay, so Maya says, that's right. So you're right about the fish sauce. Now take a bite.
Okay. So he hasn't actually tasted it yet. He's just smelling it. Now it's time to take a bite, or she could also say have a taste.
Have a taste.
Taste is what your mouth and tongue do. Working with your smell, your taste will give you the full flavor of the food. But of course, to taste food, especially if it's food you can cut up or something, you have a bite. All right. Now, a bite is using your teeth to basically cut the food. That is to bite, to use it as a verb. When we say take a bite, we're basically saying put a small amount of the food in your mouth, right? Put a normal amount that you would put in your mouth when you're eating, or when you're just checking the flavor, checking how it tastes. That would be a bite, all right? So take a bite, put it in your mouth, chew it up, and then tell me what you taste, what you smell, what you think. And we'll get back to Owen's reaction after he takes a bite, after we take a break.
The first flavor on my tongue is soy sauce. So that means that there's sugar as well.
You're good. What else can you make out?
There's another flavor there, but I can't tell what it is.
I don't think you'll guess it, so I'll just tell you. I added a touch of miso.
Wow, that's very clever of you.
All right, we are back, and we're in the middle of Owen's big test. I guess it's also a big test of Maya's new dish, right?
I think so.
Owen is trying to tell her what he tastes, but as long as he doesn't go, ugh, that's terrible, then I guess Maya is passing the test, because the food is still tastes good. It is still delicious enough for Owen to eat. So he was smelling it first, remember?
Yeah.
What was the smell that he got?
Fish sauce.
That was the first smell.
And that was correct.
That was correct. Without even tasting it, putting it in his mouth, just his nose told him about the fish sauce. Now, he's actually put it in his mouth. He has taken a bite of the food. And what does he decide? He says, the first flavor on my tongue is soy sauce.
Okay.
All right, another food or another ingredient that has a very strong flavor, right?
Yeah,
that kind of wonderful umami
it's
flavor.
Vietnamese food or something.
Now, the interesting thing is soy sauce is often kind of salty, right? But this one is not so much. So that
sweet.
makes Owen understand something. He says, so that means that there's sugar as well. Yes, often when you're combining soy sauce with other things like fish sauce or things like that, people do add a little bit of sugar to kind of make it less salty. It might be too salty in the food, and the sugar kind of balances out the flavors a little bit more.
The flavor is basically the colors of the taste, you know? The flavor can be something you smell, something you taste. It could be a combination of different things. It's just all the experience that goes in your mouth and goes in your nose when you're eating something and tasting it in your mouth and putting it in your tongue. And so that's the whole eating experience, is the flavor.
Yeah, it's what tells your brain what the food is. Even if your eyes are closed, if I put some beef in your mouth or some fish in your mouth or tomato, you would know they're different
flavor,
from the flavor,
yeah,
right?
Taste different.
If you close your nose or if you got COVID and you can't smell, then you can't tell the flavor. Everything tastes like nothing, really. Now, a lot of the information that our brain gets about flavor comes from our tongue.
Oh, there's a lot of different nerves in there.
Right, your tongue. You use your tongue to talk, to drink, to swallow. It keeps the food in your mouth when you're chewing, moving around. Of course, our tongue is something that does lots of things, but mainly it's connected to eating, to getting the flavor out of the food and sort of translating that flavor into something your brain tells you what you are eating. So your tongue is this thing in your mouth, and we use it for all sorts of things, especially when eating and tasting. Back to Maya. She's pretty impressed now with what the information Owen is giving her.
You're good, she says, means good guess. What else can you make out? That means what else can you tell from my dish?
Yeah, so he has a very sensitive tongue, I guess we
Maybe
might
sensitive
say.
nose too.
And a sensitive nose. He's very good at judging food and what is in it. And he is able to tell her more about this dish she has made. There's another flavor there, but I can't tell what it is.
Ooh,
yeah,
it's a mystery.
Sometimes our brain is very good at knowing the flavor of one specific food, but when we start mixing those foods together, sometimes it's harder to kind of separate the flavors you are tasting. So he's not quite sure what is there, but there's something more than the fish sauce, the soy sauce, and the sugar.
This is a secret ingredient. Maya says, I don't think you'll guess it, so I'll just tell you. I added a touch of miso.
Ah, miso, of course, soybean paste, kind of like soy sauce. Japanese style, you take some soybeans, you age them, and it gives you, again, a wonderful umami kind of flavor, a little bit of saltiness to the food as well. So that's a good thing. Miso soup, of course, is very popular, and many things, especially from Japanese food, can be flavored using miso. So wow, Owen says he's impressed. It's one of those things where he couldn't have told her the miso, but as soon as she says there's miso, ding, his brain goes, oh, of course, that's the other secret flavor. Wow, he's very impressed and happy with the work she has done. That's very clever of you.
Clever.
Clever of her to add in a little bit of miso for a little bit of extra special flavor.
And what clever means is very smart. That means that was such a great idea. Quick thinking right there. So we can see that Maya's not only a good cook, but she's also very creative.
Yeah, she's a smart chef and she can think of, unusual things that will make her
it
food
taste good.
Extra special, extra memorable,
Amazing.
And very enjoyable. Lucky Owen. I think he's got a pretty good situation being the taste tester in Maya's kitchen. All right, guys, thanks for joining us for that dialogue. We have one more for you tomorrow, so come back with an appetite for food and for English, because we will have both for you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Maya prepared a new dish for Owen.
Here, try this dish and tell me what seasonings you taste.
Okay, right away, I can smell fish sauce.
That's right. Now take a bite.
The first flavor on my tongue is soy sauce. So that means that there's sugar as well.
You're good. What else can you make out?
There's another flavor there, but I can't tell what it is.
I don't think you'll guess it, so I'll just tell you. I added a touch of miso.
Wow, that's very clever of you.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 smell 动词闻。I can smell the flowers in the garden. 我闻得到花园里的花香。下一个单字 bite 名词，一口的量。The girl took a big bite of the burger. 这位女孩咬了一大口汉堡。下一个单字 tongue名词，舌头。The hot soup burned my tongue. 热汤灼伤了我的舌头。最后一个单字 clever 形容词，聪明的，伶俐的。The clever student quickly solved the math problem. 这位聪明的学生迅速解开了这道数学题。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 as well 也，这是一个副词片语，通常置于句尾。我们来看看这个例句。I enjoy hiking and I like swimming as well. 我喜欢徒步旅行，也喜欢游泳。下一个文法 make out something 辨别某物，也可以说 make something out。我们来看看这个例句。I couldn't make out the tiny words. 我看不清那些小字。最后一个文法 a touch of 加名词，少许的什么东西。touch 在这里是名词，指的是少量些微。我们来看看这个例句。I put a touch of salt on the popcorn. 我在爆米花上撒了少许的盐。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street. I'm Kiki.
And I'm Winnie. Oh, can I borrow maybe some money because I ran out and I want to go get some drinks.
You ran out of what?
I ran out of money, you know?
You ran out of money? Your money got up and ran away?
No, that's a phrase and it basically means I don't have any money on me right now.
Ah, okay. Does that mean we're going to be working on phrases today?
Sure does.
All right, let's go check it out. Okay, let's work on some phrases today. Our first phrase in Chinese is 提心吊胆.
Look over one's shoulder.
Look off one's face.
Look over one's shoulder.
Look over one's face.
Look over one's shoulder.
这个吧。
Look over one's shoulder. Is that correct? Ding, ding, ding. Yes, you look over your shoulder. Okay.
One more.
Let's try another one. 痛哭流涕.
这个吗？
You're crying so much you cry your heart out.
Cry one's heart out.
Cry one's heart out.
Cry one's head out.
Cry one's heart out.
This?
Okay, go for it.
Heart.
Cry one's heart out. You sure?
Yes.
You sure? And it's a good thing you're sure because you're correct. Very good. Okay, so what have we learned today?
We learned a lot of new phrases today, so let's learn a little bit more about them. The first one is look over one's shoulder. This phrase means that a person is worried that something bad or unpleasant might happen to them, so they have to stay alert and be wary. Since we can't really see what might come from behind us, we have to look over our shoulder in order to see. Our next phrase is cry one's heart out. This means to cry for a long time or to cry with a lot of intensity. The heart is traditionally thought of as the center of emotions. So a lot of emotions can be felt physically with the heart. So when you do something with your heart out, for example, sing your heart out, you are usually doing something with a lot of emotion. Okay, that's all the phrases we learned today. KiWi later.